If there is something that does not make sense and you're like, this does not belong in my life anymore, logically, I need to get rid of this. This Aquarius full moon on August 9th is the time to get that out of your life. So it's not personal, it's not emotional, it's just time to cut that out of your life. So if you are excited to learn about what this Aquarius full moon means for you, based on your rising sign specifically and the general collective energy, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Maren. I make videos on astrology, I make music, I'm in movies. You can find me and see all the things and do all the things or whatever. And also, I'm now offering pre-recorded readings. So if you want a live, like one-on-one reading with me, you can book that, but also, because of how busy I am and other people too, if you want a pre-recorded video from me about your chart, I offer those now too for a cheaper price. So first, let's get into the overall astrology of this full moon, what you can expect to be coming out during this time, and also what the energy is for your sign after that. So this is happening on August 9th, 2025 at 12:54 a.m. Pacific time. So pretty much like the night of the 8th, to be honest. So the night of the 8th into the morning of the 9th, depending on where you are in the world, there's going to be a full moon in Aquarius happening. Now, full moons are always more drama, more excitement, more intensity. And depending on the positives or negatives, it can be a party time or like a car accident kind of energy. Like both, like ambulances, emergency rooms, like they're more active on full moons. So just take that onto account any full moon. I don't like traveling on full moons, for example. But during this one, this is not one that I'm particularly concerned about. There is astrology going on around this full moon that I do not like, but the full moon itself is not configured in many challenging aspects that make me think that the focus of this full moon is challenging. Now, to get into it, the moon in Aquarius is already moon in an air sign. That is logical, that is planning, that is cerebral in motive. This is not an emotional purge energy. This is not a cutting the cord energy. This is a, okay, logically, I'm done with this. I have built this house. I am now ready to sell it kind of energy. Like you have built something and logically it's time to let it go. This is a logical letting go energy or moving on from something. Now, with the moon in the second decan of Aquarius, that is associated with the Six of Swords tarot card, known as literally science. Like that's the name for this decan in this card. So this is a decan about problem solving. Aquarius is already ruled by Saturn, which is a very serious energy of rules and boundaries. This decan has some rulership by Mercury, which is about how you get from this starting point to this ending point. What is your solution? What is your problem solving? And what are you going to do to get across this bridge? So this is showing that you have clarity on how to close this chapter, and the sun is in the second decan of Leo. So this is associated with the Six of Wands tarot card, known as Triumph as a card. So often this shows you coming off of a win, or you have recently been victorious or had really big success around something. So with this, again, it's not emotional. It's not showing that you are doing something that's philanthropic or nice. No. This just shows, well, you accomplished this. You finished this chapter in your life. Let's end that and move on. So that is not really challenging. This full moon itself, for once, the fixed signs, they're not getting hit. This is not hitting anything with challenges about this topic. So this topic in particular is not filled with challenge. However, Mercury retrograde in Leo is opposite Pluto in Aquarius during this. So this has kind of been present, and this has been an energy that's been really relevant for a lot of July and August now. But Mercury in Leo is already very talkative, very extra, very theatrical. And Pluto shows manipulation, skepticism about people's motives, being suspicious, and being very on your toes about the truth around you. Mercury retrograde shows this is a time of a lot of interrogation and skepticism about others' motives. So if you feel as if you're kind of going mentally crazy about if people are telling the truth, if they're manipulating you, all that kind of thing, it's not related to this full moon, but the energy at hand is full of suspicion and manipulation and not speaking up, but being kind of dramatic about it and keeping things within. Also, Saturn and Neptune are retrograde in Aries. So I have a full video on Saturn and Neptune in Aries, but with Saturn and Neptune retrograde, we're all reconsidering boundaries, rules, and what we are idealizing as the goal in our life. Like, what are the rules in place to get us from point A to point B with goals? And with that opposite Mars in Libra, exact by degree, there's a huge amount of kind of like deer in headlights fear energy. Whenever Mars and Saturn are in a difficult aspect, it's like pushing the gas and the brakes at the same time. So there's a lot of wanting to solve problems, but a lot of fear about the execution. And with Mars opposite Neptune, I would know because I have this, there is fear of literally acting and fucking everything up. So there's a lot of like in the background passive aggressive, suspicious, fearful, confusing energy that feels very anxious and also very delusional, even with that Neptune energy. So the full moon itself is not a problem. The energy around it is quite a problem. I would say I don't like this energy. But on the flip side, Venus and Jupiter are conjunct in Cancer during this. So the few days after this full moon are actually getting quite lovely as the difficult things separate and Venus and Jupiter get tightly conjunct. Venus and Jupiter in Cancer is a saving grace energy of something is going really well. Something is quite positive and cute and amazing, and it's manifesting just positivity and it's cute. It is entirely unrelated to the suspicious energy, and it's loosely square Mars in Libra, Saturn, Neptune, and Aries by sign, but honestly, it's not a tight square. Therefore, it's not really affecting or closely involved with the fear and aggression energy going on. This is more random cute thing going on, unrelated to everything else. So that is a saving grace there. But overall, this is a full moon of something is finishing in your life, and we'll get into what it is for you. You can eliminate that because you're gonna have to deal with this crazy anxiety, stress, and other parts of your life right now that are very different than what is going on here. So basically, if there's something that logically you're tying up, you did it, yay, tie that up because there's other shit to handle. Now let's get into what this means for you based on your rising sign. And I've gotten complaints about always starting with Aries, so we're going to start with Aquarius because it's an Aquarius full moon. So Aquarius rising, so this is in your first house of self. This looks like you are being celebrated, you're getting attention, or you are the main character about something that you were no longer associated with. Like almost like, yay, you were at the company for 20 years, congrats, yay, okay, I'm retiring. If you are a Pisces rising, this is in your 12th house of mental health. You were probably having something come to light that's an issue. It could be an addiction, just a bad habit. It could be also just something that is difficult with mental health that is coming out for you to no longer deal with or have present in your life. You're like, okay, I really am going to stop having that occur. If you are an Aries rising, this is in your 11th house of networking and friends. So you are probably leaving or changing friend groups or organizations, and you're like celebrating your time being a part of something while moving on. If you are a Taurus rising, this is in your 10th house of career, you're probably either finishing up working on a project and you're being celebrated for that, or you were literally leaving a job and this is the ending of that chapter. If you are a Gemini rising, this is in your 9th house of foreign travel or higher education. So you were probably either finishing up a trip, you had some time abroad and you're coming back home. It could also show that you are finishing up a degree or entering the final stages of studying something that you were almost done with. If you're a Cancer rising, this is in your 8th house of finance, investments, and trust. So this is more likely with you guys going to be about paying off debts, ending contractual ties with someone, or removing your reliance on others or their reliance on you monetarily. If you're a Leo rising, this is in your 7th house of committed relationships. It could either be an amicable breakup or the ending of a chapter that involves a partnership of some kind, or ending a contract or finishing up some kind of work that involved a partner. If you are a Virgo rising, this is in your 6th house of health, wellness, and coworkers. So it could be that you're having a physical health issue and you're finally going to do something to get rid of it. It could also show that you are learning something about wellness or exercise and you're deciding to act on that. Or it could be that you are leaving, changing, or removing people from working for you. If you are a Libra rising, this is in your 5th house of fun, romance, creativity, and kids. So it could be showing just a fun, really like romantic, partying night. It could be quite a night, or it could be showing that you finished something creatively and you are releasing that or getting appreciation for something creatively. It could also show that you were learning that you're going to have kids, but that's very unlikely. That's a rare case. If you are a Scorpio rising, this is in your 4th house of home or family. So you were either moving, finishing up a chapter at home, like renovations or changing something in the house, or something's ending with your family in general. If you are a Sagittarius rising, this is in your 3rd house of communication and productivity and routine. So you're either finishing something that you're writing, like a book, or doing something like a podcast and you're finishing that, or you are ending a way of managing your time and your routine is changing. If you are a Capricorn rising, this is in your 2nd house of income. So for us, this is about paying something off, finishing making money in a certain way, or spending a great deal of money on something, and that's an event in your life. So let me know how this is showing up for you below. I'm curious your thoughts on it and how you think it's going to manifest for you. The tarot card that we have here for this full moon is Strength reversed. So this is usually showing a difficulty in self-control or of being restrained in your actions. So it's often going to be showing that you're feeling weak, unsure, or not super confident. It's the opposite of confidence here. So I think a lot of the toss-ups of this month could be a lack of confidence or willpower around wanting to go after something. So this full moon doesn't necessarily have a lot of those themes, but I do think that it's surrounding a lot of energy around worth, discipline, and motivation. So if you enjoyed this, please let me know in a comment down below, like and subscribe, and find me everywhere else. If you have any thoughts or feelings about this full moon, let me know. I'm curious what you're expecting, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.
Oh, but there is one